Hey everyone, and welcome back to Rank and File Sports. And today we're hopping back into our series where we are predicting every single Power 4 team's record for the 2024 college football season. So let's get right into the video. Taking a look at the Texas Longhorns schedule, they have a total of 7 home games and 5 away games, with 4 of their 12 opponents being ranked in our top 25, which we released a few days ago. A couple things to note. They have a road trip to Michigan in week 2. That'll be a tough game. As well as a little spot here on the 12th and 19th of October. They have back-to-back games on the road at Oklahoma and a home matchup against Georgia. Those are going to be 2 tough games. And to close out the season, a road trip to Texas A&M, the first time they're playing in quite a while. It's a huge rivalry game. Never know what can happen there. So we give Texas an overall schedule difficulty of a 6.5 out of 10. Taking a look at the guaranteed wins that we have for Texas, not much needs to be said about Colorado State, UTSA, or Louisiana Monroe. It's a pretty easy non-conference schedule as far as those 3 games go. We'll see their other non-conference game in just a minute. A game against Mississippi State, that's going to be pretty easy for Texas. Vanderbilt, they've been at the bottom of the SEC for a while now. Don't expect that to change much. And then Arkansas and Kentucky will probably be the 2 toughest ones on this screen here. But we still expect Texas to get a win in those games pretty easily. Moving on to the likely wins, the first game we have here is that road trip to Michigan. Now, the reason this is a likely win and not on the toss-ups, even though Michigan won the national championship last year, is largely due to the fact that they lost a lot of talent from that team, as well as their head coach. So this game is only in week 2. Not a lot of time for Michigan to figure things out and get everybody settled in. They're going to have a new quarterback they're breaking in. Only his second game of his career. He's going to have to make a home start against likely a top 4 team. I just don't really see a way that Michigan gets this win, and we're going to take Texas on the road. Now, the next one is that road trip to Oklahoma. You never know what can happen in the Red River rivalry. And Texas is definitely going to be the favorite in this game, but you can't ever count Oklahoma out, especially in those rivalry games. So we're going to pick Texas, but it's not a guarantee for sure. Moving on, we have Florida at home on November 9th. Now, the reason Florida is in this likely win category versus the guaranteed is mainly just because they've been bringing in a lot of talent over the last few years, and they haven't done much with it, but they're more of a threat to do so than most of the other teams on Texas's schedule that we saw in that guaranteed win category. And finally, we have Texas A&M. This is a road game for Texas, and it's going to be absolutely packed at Kyle Field. This is the first time that this rivalry has happened in years, and the fans are super excited for it. I can't wait to see what happens in this game, and I'm going to pick Texas, but you never know what can happen, especially because this is the first time it's being played. So definitely watch out for this one. Now, the final game to talk about here is the matchup with Georgia on October 19th. This is going to be a huge game, likely a preview of the SEC championship. And this one is going to be extremely close the whole way through. I think as far as talent goes, and like if they were meeting on a neutral site, I would probably pick Georgia. But the fact that it's at home leans this slightly in Texas's favor, and I think late in the fourth quarter with the crowd on their side, there's going to be a good opportunity for Quinn Ewers to come make a play and seal the deal and send Georgia back home with a loss. Taking a look at our schedule recap, we have Texas going 12-0, and their projected record is 10.8 and 1.2. So there is a good chance that Texas does end up with a loss somewhere. Now, like I said, it's most likely going to be the Georgia game if there is one, but also watch out for Texas A&M, Michigan, or Oklahoma. Decent chance that they can lose one of those four, but I think that they still will end up going undefeated. FPI has Texas going 10-2 based on their predictions. I don't really think Texas is going to end up with 2 losses. I think they're too talented of a roster for that. Quinn Ewers he's had injury problems in the past, so that is one thing to watch out for if it happens in time for a big game. Maybe they pick up a loss or two there, but I really don't see Texas losing more than one game, and that would most likely be to Georgia. Now, per FPI, they have a 67.7% chance to make the playoffs. I think that's pretty good odds. I'm going to go ahead and take Texas to make the playoffs myself. And the national championship percentage is at 11.7. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video tomorrow.